If you've been with me for a while, you may remember that the first time I was here in Maine, I did an episode called A Taste of Maine, where I tried a lot of different snacks that were very unique to this New England area. Well, guess what? I found more. Hello, Goblins and Goblinettes. Welcome back to another edition of Destined to be Goblin. Destined Goblin here. This is where I will try a food product of some kind, maybe something you didn't even know existed, and I will decide whether or not I should give it my Destined Goblin seal of approval. Alright, we have got a lot to talk about on this episode, so we should probably dive right in. First of all, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Mrs. Goblin. As you see right now, I am also debuting on this episode my new Destined to be Goblin t-shirt. So I'll put a little picture up there of the backside of this. Mrs. Goblin created this t-shirt for me. You're going to be seeing this a lot on reviews coming up now. I've got the little logo there, the seal of approval, the little logo there right on the front, and in the back is pictures of all of the wacky characters that live in this world of Destined Goblin. And if you look closely, you will also notice that those characters, those pictures, actually make a G for Goblin. So there we go. So big thank you to Mrs. Goblin. Don't forget to check out Mrs. Goblin's channel. She has a YouTube channel here as well. It is called Mrs. Goblin's Travels. She posts a lot of videos on her travels, things that, places that she has been, things that she has seen. There are shorts over there, there are videos over there, so check those out and be sure to subscribe to Mrs. Goblin. Give her a little love as well. Now, let's get started with the food. We've got quite a few things to go over here. I've got some salty things, I've got some sweet things, and then I also have one item from the last place that we were in that I kind of forgot about. So we'll get to that for a minute, or in a minute rather, I should say. I do have Moose Mug here. However, as you can see, Moose Mug is empty. That is because I will not be using Moose Mug for this, because one of those items, the item that I forgot about in the last place that we were in, is a drink. So I'm going to put that in a clear glass, and we will get a look at that after we try our first item. So we'll use that as our palate cleanser. But first we're going to go ahead and dig into one of those salty items. We're going to start out with these chips. I've got two different flavors of these Cape Cod chips. Now, here in Maine and here throughout this whole New England area, these Cape Cod chips are everywhere. This brand, you will find these everywhere. These are Cape Cod waves. I believe I have seen regular cuts on these as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. But they have some different flavors that you don't see all the time, some things that I haven't really seen before. White cheddar and sour cream. Usually you'll see sour cream and onion. You'll see a cheddar flavor, maybe cheddar and, I don't know, cheddar and onion or something like that. Cheddar and sour cream. So I thought that was a little bit different. These are made right here in the New England area in Massachusetts. So this is a very local company here. These are 140 calories for 9 of these chips. So I'm assuming these are pretty big. Let's get these open and take a look at these. They're actually not as large as I thought they were. For 140 calories for 9 chips, to me that implies maybe a little bit of a thicker cut chip, maybe a larger chip. But these are actually not really that big at all. They really don't look all that different from a lot of the other chips that are out there. There is a larger one right there. White cheddar and sour cream flavor. It's hard to see a lot of seasoning on this. It doesn't look like there's a heavy amount of seasoning or anything on this. Let's just see what the flavor is like. I have not yet tried these Cape Cod chips, and I certainly have not tried this white cheddar and sour cream flavor. So let's see what the flavor's like. That is a very crunchy chip. It's not, it is kettle cooked, so that of course is going to give you a little bit of an extra crunch right there. It's not thick to the point that I would expect it to be to get a crunch like that. So they've done a good job getting a nice crunch out of this. Flavor-wise, it's very heavy on the sour cream, and I'm not sure that I'm detecting a lot of cheddar flavor there. Well, the chips overall are not bad. I don't mind these. I can't say this is like my new favorite snack or anything like that. They're fairly comparable to most other brands of chips that you'll find out there, especially kettle cooked chips. They've got a nice crunch. I would like a little more salt on this, and I would like a lot more of that cheddar flavor. There's a nice sour cream flavor on it. It's not overpowering. Overall, not bad, but I wouldn't say this was my favorite snack that I've had here in Maine, even favorite type of chip or anything like that that I've encountered so far. Let's cleanse the palate, and we will do that with our next item. Okay, so again, if you have been following me for a while, you know that the last place we were in was North Dakota. And when we were in North Dakota, I picked up an item that I forgot about. And I actually, sometimes when we are getting ready to transfer to a new place, to go to a new location, I might not have completely cleared my pantry of all of the snacks that I needed to review, and I take a lot of those things with me. Well, usually I try to get the local things done quickly, at least get them filmed. It takes me a long time to release these videos. You're still going to see stuff, by the time I put this out, you're still going to see things from San Francisco, you're going to be seeing things from Florida. I've got a lot of stuff in the can, so to speak, that I just release over time. But those local things, I try to make sure that I film them while I'm still in that area. This one got away from me somehow. I'm not sure how I missed this. I picked this up in North Dakota, and this is a drink right here. This is called Maple Aid, lemon tea Maple Aid. I believe the company is Slopeside Syrup Untapped. I think that is the company on this. It's kind of confusing exactly who makes this. I actually picked this up. We went camping while we were in North Dakota, and I actually picked this up in the camp store that was there. So this is a local product. It says it is all natural athletic fuel. So this is not only a liquid drink mix, but it's also supposed to be a type of an energy drink. And I think the energy is coming from the sugar that is in this. It is made with pure maple syrup, lemons, black tea, and sea salt. So we have to mix this up with some water, and we mix the contents with 12 ounces of water, and then we shake it. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna put this in a clear glass so we can see what it looks like, and then I will be right back. So as you might expect, maple syrup is everywhere in North Dakota. It's so close to the Canadian border that a lot of the things you will see there are maple syrup flavored. Maple syrup is everywhere, maple candies, maple flavor is everywhere, and same thing right across the border in Canada as well. We went to Winnipeg a couple of times while we were there, and we found a lot of products that are just all types of maple flavored products, maple flavored things. That was the thing that attracted me to this. It said lemon tea Maple Aid, so it's flavored with maple syrup. I will tell you, when I poured that, and I realized that was a concentrate, but when I poured that into the glass, straight out of that little container, it was the most unattractive food item that I think I have ever seen. It's not much better now that the water is in it. But again, if it is supposed to be a type of iced tea, that's not an unusual color, I guess, that you would see from an iced tea. So I guess we'll just try this and see. This is supposed to have, again, a little bit of sea salt in it. It's got maple syrup, lemon tea, and what else did it say? I think it said black tea in here as well. Aroma-wise, it really doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't smell like maple. It doesn't smell like lemon. Okay, let's just try this and see what we've got here. my. Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah, I would not be getting this again. I don't even know what that flavor is. I mean, there's a little bit of a lemon flavor. Not really getting maple flavor at all. Boy, how to even describe this? There is almost a bitterness to it. There's nothing sweet about it. I expected a sweetness. It didn't say that there were sugars in it, but again, you've got maple syrup, so I expected there to be a sweetness from the maple syrup. Um, and the sea salt that is in here, yeah, that you can taste that. And I love savory treats. I love salty snacks. I don't think I want salt in my drink, however, especially not my iced tea. Wow, that is an interesting flavor. Okay, well, that was the last of the North Dakota items that I had. So we will just put that one behind us, and we will move on to the second bag of the Cape Cod Waves. This one is jalapeno ranch. Love both of those flavors. Big fan of jalapeno. It's my favorite pepper. Love ranch flavor. These are also 140 calories for 9 chips. So let's see what we get. Okay, not detecting a jalapeno aroma, not detecting a ranch aroma. Just kind of smells like potato chips. Again, nothing unusual to look at. There's one of those chips. Now, I can see that there's a lot of seasoning on these. So I am hoping that that translates into a nice, big, bold flavor of jalapeno ranch. Here we go. Such a subtle flavor on these chips. There's a heat that kind of builds. I don't know that it reminds me of jalapeno heat. I can't say I'm incredibly impressed with these. Okay, this is going to sound a little weird because I guess some of this stuff is a little counterintuitive to what you might be thinking here. Again, I like big, bold flavors. This one has a strong heat to it that builds. As you eat more, the heat kind of builds. But the flavor that's there is not ranch. There's nothing about this says ranch to me. And I don't know that the flavor is really jalapeno as much as it is just heat that's there. But it is a little bit of a stronger flavor than the last one that we had, the cheddar and sour cream. However, I think I prefer that cheddar and sour cream flavor. Even though this is a stronger flavor as you keep eating it, I think that other one had a better flavor overall, and it was a little bit more authentic to the sour cream flavor at least. I just wish it had more of that cheesiness to it. Cape Cod Waves, there we go. I've seen a lot of different flavors of these. I'm not sure that this Cape Cod brand is my favorite out of all the things I've tried here, but we gave it a shot and we will move on. And I will cleanse my palate with this sludge. I mean this Maple-Aid. Oh boy, that stuff is... wow. Okay. Now, this next one is very New England. It's very Maine. If you've been following me for a while, I love pickles. And I love not only just pickles, but pickled products. I love lots of different things that are pickled. Fiddleheads. Now, this is something that you may not even know what this is. I was not even aware that these were edible, to tell you the truth. If you don't know what a fiddlehead is, I will try to show you a little bit of a closer look there. Getting a little bit of a glare from the screen, I think. These are not cheap, as you can see right there. This jar was $12.99. These are, if you have ever been hiking in the woods, if you've seen ferns, you may have noticed that when a young fern is growing, it comes up out of the ground and it's kind of curled, and it looks like the head of a fiddle, hence the name fiddleheads. That is what these are. I did not know that they were even edible, to tell you the truth. And not only are they edible, but they are apparently a delicacy here in the New England area. So I am going to give these a shot and see what these taste like. There's no information on here. This comes from a company called Out on a Limb, and there's obviously no information, nutrition information or anything like that. But usually when you're talking about a pickled item, pickles, that kind of thing, there's no calories, or at most maybe 5 calories or something like that. It's usually a pretty small number. Let's get this open and see what we got. Okay, I have been excited to try these. Really, ever since we found out that we were coming back to Maine. I found out about these last time, right before we left, and I didn't get a chance to try them. And when we found out that we were coming back to New England, I said right away, I told Mrs. Goblin, we have to get a jar of those fiddleheads. I definitely want to try those. Okay, there's an aroma off of this that does not make me think of pickles. It actually makes me think of pickled beets. So that's interesting. Now, I like pickled beets. I don't like them as much as I like pickles. But there is one of those fiddleheads. And let's see if I can turn that around. It's sort of unraveling, almost like it's alive, as I'm holding this here. I have no idea what to expect out of this. I have no clue what this tastes like, so I am just gonna pop the whole thing in my mouth and see what we get. Well, the fiddlehead itself is not bad. It doesn't remind me of a pickle. The texture, rather, sort of reminds me of. Wow, it doesn't even remind me of a pickled beet. It's somewhere in between. It's crunchy, but there's also a softness to it. Once you get past that crunchy shell, it's a little bit more delicate on the inside. The problem that I have with this, and it's not necessarily a problem, it's just something, it's not my favorite. It's because of the brine mix here. I tend to like pickles that have a little bit more of a garlicky flavor, a little bit of a salty nature, where it's a little bit lighter on the vinegar side and more heavier on the saltier side or the garlicky side. This is very heavy on the vinegar side of the pickling liquid. So if you like that, this is almost to the point that it borders on sort of like a sweetness, and I don't like sweet pickles at all. Not quite something like bread and butter, but sometimes you will find pickles where they're a little bit sweeter than anything, and this is bordering almost on that sweetness, along with all of that vinegriness, and that makes for not my favorite type of pickling mixture, but not bad. I like the texture on these, and I think these would be fantastic in a salad. And I think I am going to do that. I think I am going to use this the next time I have a salad. I think this would give a nice crunch and just a nice little bit of a texture change and a little bit of flavor. Not bad. Back to this stuff. Oh, wow. Okay, that stuff is, that is an acquired taste. All right, well, if you saw the first A Taste of Maine, one of the items that you might remember were whoopie pies. Whoopie pies are everywhere in Maine, and I have one more of those. The reason that I included this one, since I did whoopie pies the last time, why am I doing another one? That is because of this place right here. It is called Wicked Whoopie. If you ever get a chance to visit Wicked Whoopie, and I believe they are located, well, their office is located in Gardiner, Maine, but I believe the shop that we went to was in Freeport. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. If you ever get a chance to visit Wicked Whoopie, I don't know if they have multiple stores or if you ever see this brand in the store or something like that. pick these up because these are fantastic. Now, what these are not is light in calories. This whoopie pie right here. Any guesses as to? I hope you didn't see that. I hope I just didn't expose the calorie count. I can't imagine that you would have been able to see that. But how many calories do you think this entire whoopie pie might be? I'll give you a minute to throw out your guesses there, and then I will tell you that this whoopie pie, if you were to eat this entire thing, you were looking at 600 calories. And that is on the light side. Usually a whoopie pie of this size will run you around 400 calories for a half of a whoopie pie. So you're looking at the whole thing about 800 calories or more. I have seen some that are over 1,000 calories. They do come in different sizes. This company, one thing I like about Wicked Whoopie is they have mini whoopie pies, and they've got a ton of flavors, and they're all delicious. And they also have ones that are even bigger than this. They have one that is, I think it was over a pound. It might have been even larger than that. There was a 1 pound, and I think there was a 5 pound. And one of them was like $30, and then I don't know how much the other one was. Generally, they're going to be anywhere from about $3 to, I've seen some for around $8 or $9. The bigger you go, the more expensive they get, obviously. But you're not going to go through New England, you're not going to go through Maine and not have a whoopie pie. You're going to see them everywhere. This one is orange creamsicle, and I thought that sounded fantastic. So it's time for dessert. I'm going to give this one a shot. Okay, so there you see, this is the trademark, the thing about the whoopie pie that makes it a whoopie pie, and that is that amount of filling that is in there, and that stuff is just so sweet and so flavorful. And Wicked Whoopie does a great job with not only the cake part itself, but that filling. And let's see what this one tastes like. This is orange creamsicle flavor. Oh, wow. Oh, so creamy, so sweet, and a fantastic orange flavor on this. The filling, the cream is smooth, it's creamy, it's sugary, it's sweet, and then that cake balances it out really nicely, gives you that orange flavor, and it's a nice, it's a strong orange flavor too. It's not lacking in any type of flavor. This is good stuff. And this is the big winner, and this is excellent, and that's a 3-star seal of approval. All right, there we go. Some treats from Maine. Taste of Maine Part 2. Once again, we've got some New England-style treats here. Those Cape Cod chips, I don't know, I was a little disappointed in those. A lot disappointed in those, actually. The fiddleheads were good. I just wish that that pickling brine was a little bit on the saltier side and a little bit less on the vinegary side. But looking forward to trying those out in some salads. And there we go. And I will catch you next time.